Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
Impacting the Las Vegas Valley with the gospel of Jesus Christ. We are KKVV Las Vegas.
Hey, beautiful people. This is Romone and Monica Jones, sponsored by
Much to Say.
The Naked Perspective. You can't handle the perspective.
But if you think you can, let's get started.
Hey, beautiful people.
Hey.
Good afternoon to you. We are live here in the studio, and we're so excited just to be here. What a wonderful day.
We
hope everybody's having a great weekend. We want to just say, first of all, you're looking good in your white. For those that when you watch
Wait a minute.
this,
I can't take that compliment today.
Why?
Well, this is for those that are watching. Might be like, why does she got that old dress on? It was Communion Sunday Sunday.
That's
so
right.
I'm a worker, and this is the uniform for it. But
Yeah.
I got, you spilled your juice. You
Oh,
couldn't,
yeah,
you couldn't open your juice.
The communion, I couldn't open my. Yeah, it was kind of the lid wouldn't come off, so that was a whole
So
situation.
whole
But
situation.
thank you for helping me out. And so, we're excited to be here. First of all, it's been just a wonderful week.
Yes, it has.
And we want to give a shout out, first of all, to Restoration Church.
Woo!
Yeah, the 107. We thank God for you. Restoration Church of God in Christ. Let's make sure we're clear
Restoration Church
Yes.
of God, God in Christ.
And so we are live here. But listen, yesterday there was some wind going on, and I understand
Lots of
people's
wind.
lights were out and
Windows busted.
Okay, so in some spots it wasn't. The wind was going, but we didn't see all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I do hope that if your family has gone through any of that, we hope that you are safe. To know that the wind can get that crazy here, my goodness gracious. And just to...
I thought God was trying to say something. He's speaking.
Or trying, God don't try. The reality of it is I think we need to understand that's how quick something could turn around. I was looking at everything moved because of the wind in our backyard. And, it came through and did some things. And I was just looking at how things can be, rearranged just through a storm or whatever you're going through.
Yes.
But the good thing is that the things that were solid were still standing.
Come on.
And so I'm excited about just that, to know in our spiritual walk as believers that there are storms we will go through. They're unavoidable. That wind came whether you were Christian or not, whether
Didn't
you
matter.
got money or not, whether you got a house or apartment. But the reality of it is the things that were solid, the things that were stable, were still standing when the storm was gone. And so I just pray that this is why Naked Perspective is here, is to give you some things that are solid, right, to help you in regard to that. But listen, we got some phenomenal things going up. This was a great day at church.
We had a wonderful service.
The title is Family Let's Go.
Family, let's go.
And we'll leave it right there. I feel a little tickle in my throat.
Hold on.
You got some water or something?
I got some water.
This is like a whole situation right now.
I got some water for you.
This is live on the air, and I just feel like a little tickle. I was going to start coughing. I thought that would be a little embarrassing. Thank you. And she just happened to have, what else you got in your purse? How do you have a whole bottle of water in your purse? What is that all about?
For moments like these.
You truly are a wife and a mom. I see that, all right?
Mm-hmm.
You got any chicken in there?
No.
I could use some more chicken, a cheeseburger. But listen, we got some exciting things coming up. We have our
you were about to say
I was
it.
about to say marriage retreat.
Don't you get in trouble.
Yes, not marriage retreat. We got our singles retreat coming up.
Conference, yes. Retreat/conference, yes.
It's going to be coming up, and I'm excited.
We secured the location.
We secured the location.
We have secured the speaker, not quite yet. But I'm telling y'all, listen, this person does not live in Nevada. This is a whole person.
I hope they're a whole person.
Yes, committed to the ministry of singles.
Okay.
And if anybody knows the ministry that we carry as far as the transparency, you know that anybody we call, and we've only called for one person. So you got to know this person has to embody everything that we are about. Listen,
I'm excited.
It is going to be a time. And so we are so excited about this individual who will be coming. I will make sure we release it at a later date. I'm going to get us a save the date flyer so people can see.
Awesome. Well, I'm
excited. But we do have the dates.
So what's the ages?
Grown folk.
Okay, so grown folks. This is only for grown folks. If you don't fit that category.
Single, grown folks.
Grown folks. If you don't fit.
Because I don't want to say 18, because if you 18 and you ain't grown and you're thinking of mature, don't even come.
Oh, that's deep. That's deep. So it don't matter.
Or if you 60 and still not mature. No, listen. This may not be this because we're gonna be dealing with grown folk
Isn't that
stuff.
sad though that you could be a certain age and still not be mature?
Right.
Come on.
I was gonna put a rating on this conference so people understand that this ain't gonna be no little toddler situation.
No, this is not. This is going to be
Yeah.
very well because there are so many singles that deal with stuff, and we have found this out by those that want to get married. Things that some singles come in, they're trying to deal with baggage.
Mm-hmm.
You got some singles coming in, they do well,
Mm-hmm.
and so they have to have these honest conversations. What if
Mm-hmm.
you do well and the person you're getting with doesn't? You know what I mean? So a lot of things.
It's so much to
it's
unpack.
so much trauma, right?
Yeah.
You know, backgrounds, Christian upbringing.
Because we just thought the answer to singleness
Was
was
just get married. Yeah.
That was the answer. So singleness is a posture and a status, and so the answer to not have that posture or status was to get married.
Just get married and it fixes.
And that's what we did.
Yeah.
And that didn't quite work out.
Wait, hold up. What just happened? I
No,
thought
it
did
worked
It
out,
did.
baby. But you understand what I'm saying.
I mean, no, you got to explain to the people. What do you
Oh,
mean?
you want me to explain it to the
Well, you
people
gotta
today?
Explain to the people because they wanted. I mean, now their ears are attentive.
Right. If you can't successfully be single and understand what that means,
Right.
there's a reason.
Right.
There's work that has to be done.
This is
There's
true.
things that have to be learned.
Okay.
There's things that must be accomplished. There's an understanding, a growth, a maturity that only God can do between him and you. And anytime you fold something into that, thinking that we're going to skip over that or that's not important or it's not necessary, you set yourself up for disaster.
Got it.
So what I'm saying is that we did not go through the process of what it is and what it means and the reason for singleness. There's a whole reason for it.
Got it.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's a time that everybody's going to have in their life. We thought that you're a kid, and then when you get old enough to get married, you get married.
Yeah.
And the whole single thing was like some kind of curse or something that you are, and because you're you're waiting for something.
I got you. I got you.
You're waiting. Singles that singles have been taught that you're waiting for something.
Wow.
And
As
I'm
if
not
you-
sure if that's true
As
necessarily.
if you can't be productive or produce or be walking in purpose until then. So yeah, there's a lot. I mean, we're gonna unpack
but
a lot.
until what?
Well, until marriage. That's
Well,
what
but everybody's not going to get married.
that's
The Bible doesn't
this
even
is true.
support that.
Okay, so
Everybody's not going to get married.
wow.
So then what are you waiting for if you're that person who's not going to get married? Some people don't necessarily desire marriage, not from an unhealthy. I'm not going to give the retreat
This
away.
is good.
Listen,
I love
you just
it.
got to get to the retreat. Listen,
Come to the retreat.
if you are grown, let me
Grown?
tell you who this retreat is for.
Okay, tell us. Talk to us.
Okay.
Talk to us while I take
If
another
you
sip
are
of this
grown
water.
folks, right? Okay, you're grown and you can't mark the "I'm married"
Yeah.
box
Okay.
on an application. It's for you.
Okay, I'm with
So
it.
if you can't mark that box, it's
Yeah.
for you. So some people will say, "Well, I'm engaged." Get to this retreat.
Get
I
to
promise you. And it's not to break y'all up. That's not why I'm saying get there. It's for you.
It's in Las Vegas. Get here.
If you're widowed, it's for you.
It's in Las Vegas.
If you're
Get here.
divorced, it's for you.
Get here.
If you've never been married, it's for you. If
Wow.
you've had a boyfriend or a girlfriend for 15 years
15.
and y'all are solid and you know without a shadow of a doubt, it's really for you.
My goodness. And wait, hold up. Tell me, you've been with somebody for 15, 16 years and you still ain't said I do?
Because this retreat doesn't have nothing to do with marriage.
Got it. It's
This is
helping-
for single people. You
I
got to
got
get
it.
there to it. I know you don't know. You're like, I'm so confused by what she's saying. This is why you got to get there. So that's why.
more information to come.
Yes,
So we're-
but
Yes.
but the title of this
What's the
conference is "This Is Not That."
Oh, this is just got juicy. This is
Because
not that.
whatever you're thinking that this is,
Being single.
and what this retreat is going to be, whatever you think this is, because you've been to other singles ministries, you've been to other retreats.
This is not
This is not that.
I love it. Okay, listen. For those that know what we do, if you're not sure, you're like, what is some of your content? What are some of the things you guys have done? Go to our website, much2say.com. Much, MUCH, 2.com. Go to
Say.
it, check it out.
Much to
Look
say.
at much2say.com. Much2say.com. Go to the website, check out our content, check out our free resources. Yes, we have a book. Yes, we have done conferences, but we are putting on a singles/retreat conference for the first time here live in Las Vegas. And it's going to be exciting. We have the speaker, we have the locale. Now it's a matter of just.
And we're going to have fun.
We're going to have fun. That's
it's
what
a
we,
weekend. It's a
what we
whole
do-
weekend
what we
of
do
fun
like
and
to have fun. And I
inspiration.
think that's
We're going to have
important
fun.
because
Yes.
we got to minister to the entire person, mind, body, and soul. And so we like to really have fun. And you're going to want to be who knows, maybe you do find your spouse.
Listen,
Maybe
we're
you
not
find
going
your
to
wife,
intentionally try to hook. So people are like, oh, I don't want to be hooked up. You know that. But if you want to, we can. We can. So for those that, we may
It's a
take a
holy
survey.
hookup.
Yeah, we may send out a survey. Listen, who's open to meeting, and
It's a
maybe we might
holy
have
hookup.
a couple gift cards for people who might be compatible to be
Right.
able to go and
All right.
have a dinner. Listen, we got all kinds of
Well, don't get
funness
too much.
planned.
Don't do much. Well, and I think this is encouraging because some people are frustrated in their current status. They're
Yeah.
frustrated, irritated, going
Yeah.
to church. They're saying, I've been doing this, or they're trying to do something right, or
Yes.
they fix their credit. They got a house, and they're still trying to find the right one, so to speak. And so some I believe don't even know what they're looking for.
Yes. Yes.
Because some people are not in tune with the possibility that the person that you're with can still have room to grow in some areas. So
Yeah.
we don't know, but or some people have a fear.
Yeah.
Again, a fear could be that you once were in something that you gave your heart, but now you're afraid to do it again, but you want to do it. This is going to be an opportunity, I believe, to be ministered to because, again, we just believe that this is an opportunity for someone to get stronger in their faith and just be informed in an area that they may not be as informed in. So I'm excited for this. Now, however, we got a couple minutes. We wanted to talk about some challenges as far as in relationships, maybe levels that you were explaining. Talk to me about those.
Yeah, well, yeah. So I was thinking this week, had some conversations with some people, and I thought about it. A lot of times we associate issues with severity levels, right? And so, like, that makes sense because that was done. But in relationships, there are times where there are infractions, or some would say like they have problems, right? And those problems could range from like people who like maybe are experiencing abuse in the relationship, or if there was infidelity in the relationship,
Sure.
Or a big financial ruin, or whatever the case may be. Like those are problems. Some would consider those to be problems. But then I've heard other people say, well, we got some things we're dealing with, but they're not that big, or it's not that big of a deal. It's not like that. But some of these people that say that, as more mature and veteran people in marriage, have gone through a lot of stuff, I can see how, although they may not think that that's a big deal, it is just as a big deal as someone that went out there and was unfaithful.
Got it.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so my question to you is that, do you think that there is a common theme that runs through problems, no matter what the problem is? Is there a theme? And my question to you is that, what would you say or think? I'm just throwing some things out there for conversation.
Well, it's a common thing.
Okay.
Let's answer that first. Let's
Okay.
answer it. Is there a common theme that goes through the challenges?
Yes.
Throughout? I think that there is there sometimes can be misunderstanding that can go on in relationships. That's communication. And what I
Okay.
mean by that, there can be miscommunication, and then there can be sometimes the danger of assuming, where we assume that someone understands what we're saying. So miscommunication, you misunderstood what I said, but then also you assuming what I'm saying instead of seeking for clarity. And what I mean by that is it can be from, my mom has passed, but let's say we're trying to help my mom or something in some case, and that may be a strong passion of mine, but it may not be as a strong passion for you, or a serious conversation, or you may be like, hey, it's good. Hey, why don't you ask some of your other siblings to help out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that can be like deep in my heart, like, why would you not want to help my mom, right? And I'd be like, oh, it's okay, babe. It's all right. Don't worry about it. No, we good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I could brush it off, and I played it off like it wasn't important, but it was important to me. But by me not seeking to communicate that,
Okay.
right, it can lead to a place of where you assume that he's not bothered by that. He said he was
Right.
okay, right? But the reality of now that thing starts to fester. Into
That
something
thing
totally
festers, right.
Yeah. And so for me, it's communication. It's not just assuming. Like, even though if I say something, it's kind of like, well, obviously if you brought it up, it might be somewhat important to you, I'm assuming then. I'm assuming that's important that you brought it up. Let me put it that way. Instead of assuming that it's not important because you stopped talking about it because I addressed it. Does it make sense?
No, that makes sense. So, and that's kind of the point that I'm hope that I'm trying to convey, and what I'm trying to have a conversation and talk, and I think that's good, is that some people will say, if this happens in my marriage or my relationship, I'm done, as if the severity level is what really terminates the relationship.
Yeah.
Because this is so severe that this will nullify the whole entire situation. But I've seen people break up and divorce off things that would, if you were to put it on a tier system, was less than that.
Absolutely.
I've heard people say, I've seen people make it past infidelity, people make it past abusive relationships and live a productive, healthy marital life. And I've seen people that can't communicate effectively throw in the towel.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out what is really the root of when someone can't make it. What is really the some of the themes that every relationship should look at, not about the act. Did that happen? Well, we haven't been abusive. We haven't had any infidelity, so we're good. But we got these other little problems. What would you say to people that are experiencing that? Because we know that big problems start out as little problems.
Right.
And what are those little problems?
Well, so little problems can sometimes, and they can be camouflaged as far as in little problems, because sometimes we're so infatuated with a person and we just want to be with somebody, don't want to be alone, that sometimes those things are not highlighted like they should be. For instance, someone that's always calling and checking, you can say, oh, they're just concerned, but not knowing that person is really controlling. So you don't see the controlling side of the individual. You just see that they're concerned, they're into me, I like that, to finally be desired. That feels so good. But you don't understand that person's controlling and they want to make sure where you're at. It's not calling to see how you're doing. It's more so where you're at. Why are you not here? You know what I'm saying? Where you at right now? I thought you'd be back by. So it's more of that person has a controlling mindset, personality. They have dealt with traumatic experiences. Even though they may share that, they don't know it's being exemplified in a controlling manner. So now that they've been messed over. You know that they've been hurt. You know about the traumatic experience, but you don't know if they've been healed or not. So now you're dealing with an unhealthy person that now has a controlling spirit, controlling attitude.
But you don't even see it like that. You just might see it as people
cute.
always checking in.
You see it as,
or even early in a marriage. My husband, he just, I got it, or my wife, they text me 6 times a day and I got to make sure that I respond or whatever. But it could be the other way.
Yep.
That there's not a lack of attention. There's not a lack of attention. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And some people don't see that as that. Sometimes that can be an early sign of emotional withdrawal.
Okay.
For benign reasons. You know what I'm saying? So like, let's say I do the laundry and I made one of your shirts pink, right? You say that's a light thing. And you were bothered that I did that, so you didn't talk to me for the whole day. Some people would say, yeah, sometimes when he gets mad, he doesn't talk. Some people would say, like, that's a small thing in comparison to him walking out and cheating on you.
Right.
But could that behavior, that type of, you understand what I'm saying, lead into something bigger down the road? You nod your head.
Yeah. Obviously, always be,
because these are the signs. This is what I'm saying, is that when there's any unhealthiness in a relationship, we have a duty to get healing in whatever it is, and to get an understanding. And I think it's one of the things that you said when it comes to communication. If anybody is confused about anything or feeling some type of way in the relationship about anything, we have to do what? Communicate.
But people don't like to communicate because they feel like I'm not trying to create a problem, or that person may be a little bit of abrasive and come off and not listening. So people try, and so you go to the place of where you try to help and you try to say something, not even necessarily trying to help, you're just trying to get clarity.
Yes.
But that person is always argumentative or getting loud. Some people just don't want that. And so, then they say, well, I can't believe you did this and did that. And the person, it never excuses a person for what they do.
Never.
But I'm very surprised if it just comes all of a sudden.
That's right.
And so it's just, that's why I thank God for what we do in the marriage and even at the church, allowing marriages to talk. Because sometimes people don't even understand that their habits that they have that is not really good. That
That's
they don't
good.
understand the frustration that their spouse has. They can't see it, but everybody in the
Yes.
room can see your spouse is really irritated by this, but you don't even
You don't
understand
even see
that
it.
because you don't see that as a big deal. And so this is where I've seen men struggle because of controlling wives. You know what I'm saying? And they're trying to do everything they can. They don't know what else to do, right? So it's frustrating, and I've seen it the other way around. And so as people, I think it's important to get healed and communicate and talk. It doesn't mean because I'm talking that whatever I'm dealing with it necessarily goes away, but what it does is allows your partner to come into the know of what you're dealing with, right?
Right.
Instead of
Right.
just being, that's just the way I am. Stop. That's not just the way you are.
And because it's not that, we're not going to talk about it or
Right,
deal with it because
right.
it doesn't matter.
Right.
It matters.
There's been things that I know before we got together, even though it was younger in age, but there was things that I struggled with because I felt like the person I was with before kind of did my heart dirty. Well,
Yeah.
when somebody does your heart dirty, you could take it out on the next person.
Yes.
Right? So things you don't want to do, you feel so insecure, you feel so whatever, that this is the reason why I'm doing it, because I'm going to protect myself. I'm going to try to control the situation. And I think that word is in my spirit only because that was what I was ministering today at the service. But, that
that's
sometimes
good.
what we do is we go to control
We
it
wanna
because we want to
control
control
it.
the situations and control the people. Well, what we want to do is kind of like the little girl that's playing house. She wants to be able to, you go here, you that, your name is this, you do that. So what happens is when you marry a real man that has his own mind, that has his own thoughts about things, when we don't like that, we want to control it to make him be
People that control is rooted in insecurity.
right.
You only want to control because you don't like the way of what it feels like to not be in control.
Right.
Which
And-
comes from insecurity.
And this is not grow. This is not about saying we don't want to grow, we don't want to
Right.
develop to be everything God has called us to be. But really, a Christian walk, even our faith, even our marriage, is based off relinquishing our control.
That's right.
And giving it over to the Lord.
That's
so
right.
when we struggle to still control a man, control a woman, control our kids, you haven't relinquished something to God. Whatever
Right.
that is, what that thing is, you're still holding on to it. You still
And that includes subtle ways that may not be, like you said, or like we were saying, that are on that severe level.
right.
It doesn't matter the severity that we put on it. It's what are you doing that is unhealthy to your relationship. And I promise we've lived it. Those stuff turns into real things.
Unhealthy, not a woman not willing to, and a man as well, not willing to take care of themselves, self-care, not willing to. It's just a weekday, so I'm gonna throw on jeans and an overbag shirt and whatever the case.
Well,
would be.
what does that signify?
Well,
what does that signify?
again, you don't care. You're in a whether you're in a depressive state or whatever you're dealing with. Obviously, you're not taking the time to care about yourself. Well, that doesn't look like a big deal. This is what I want to do. But you got a spouse. You got a
Okay.
spouse that especially on the man's side, that can be visual, that wants to see it. He's out in the community, out in the place. He's like, well, if he's a man, he should be able to keep his focus. Well, at the end of the day,
And then some people will say, well, that's superficial.
yeah. Well, if you go out and see people that are dressed up, smell good, and come home to rollers every day, you know what I'm saying? Let's just be honest. I mean, like that's and we say those are another. That's just a little thing of a
But
little
no,
thing.
but that's what rolls into stuff. And
I
I'm
don't
not
wanna
saying
get,
that.
I don't want to get on the bonnet.
No,
We
no,
did
no.
the bonnet,
I
and
know,
that turned
and
into a
that doesn't
3-week.
always roll into infidelity. That's not what I'm saying. One thing
Right.
doesn't. What I'm saying is that that could roll into feeling dissatisfied. That could roll into I don't think she cares about me.
Right, and if
that
you don't
could
care,
feel,
then what's the point of me
right,
caring, right?
Right.
So now it's like, how do
Right.
we get? We're talking about this, but you don't know it had to do something with. I brought that up before. She brought that up before, and I just dismissed it like it wasn't a big deal. And just because we didn't continue on, you felt like I assumed it's over, but you probably assumed wrong, and that's what I was saying earlier about assumptions and making sure we seek to get an understanding, because I think it's important that we're looking at our spouses talking, being open, sharing things, spending habits, all of these things, all of those things that can be frustrations and that can lead to bigger things and bigger things where
And I
people
think
start to now
yeah.
save money, put money aside, because it's just so many things that I think that this is why I think healthy living, being around other couples, being around a healthy environments is so important. Because if people they'll think that by themselves they're good until they come around other couples that may question, challenge what they're doing, or expose them to healthy teaching so they can have a better living lifestyle when it comes to relationship.
That's good. Well, I'm going to leave it with this, and I'm going to let you have the last words. What I hear from this even small discussion that we had, the common theme that runs through the little things and the big things that is the same severity of problem despite the situation is our unresolved misunderstandings.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And,
Unresolved misunderstandings.
yep. And we got to get that resolved. And the only way we can do that, I believe, is humble ourselves, seeking to get an understanding, all that getting to get understanding, going to God, asking God to help you with anything that's in your heart that you're unwilling to deal with. Ask God to forgive you. Let the thing go so it doesn't suffocate your relationships. We pray that something was said to inspire, encourage, uplift, get you to think. Matter of fact, stay in tune because we have so much to say here on The Naked Perspective. Ramon and Monica, we're out of here. Enjoy your day. Stay safe, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Yes.
The Lord says the same. God bless.
Bye.
Well, were you able to handle the perspective? Thank you for listening to another segment of The Naked Perspective.
If you would like to see or hear more of us, or if you would like to get in touch with us, please visit our website at www.much2say.com.
Here again is a program that you've